Hi Year 6, good morning, it's Monday, I'm back again to read you story time. I hope you had a lovely weekend and you're rested and ready to hear the next part of our story of the Yark. I hope everyone in Year 6 and perhaps your siblings as well, because I think this can be suitable for anyone really, anyone young, even adults. I love this book. It makes me laugh out loud a lot. So, we learned a little bit about the Yark last week. We learned that he's a rare monster. We learned that he likes to eat children. We also learned that he gets a bit of a stomachache if he ends up eating naughty children. And the other thing that we learned is that he does not have a very good opinion of modern children. Now, can you remember some of the words that the author used to describe modern children? Shout out if you can remember. I'm hoping some of you looked up the meaning of these words. Shout out the words to the person sitting next to you, or if you're sitting by yourself listening, shout it out to the room. Right, so I'm wondering if you said the word garrulous or capricious or gluttonous, what else did he say? He said that modern children, that's you out there, have primitive brains, that you could only do the most basic of tasks, that all you do is eat, tell lies, and you bicker. He used the word snickering, but it means the same thing. You bicker all day. He also thinks that all of you have a really poor diet. So you gorge on things that are unhealthy, and therefore you're all soft. You've all got soft and flabby flesh. You're full of cholesterol. And he also thinks that you have deplorable, that means terrible hygiene. Okay, so that's what we learned. Now, I hope you enjoyed the images. The images in the book are absolutely wonderful. Right, so we're going to start chapter 4. It's called The List. Night has fallen. Like a tormented soul, the Yark wanders about in a forest, buffeted by an icy wind. Oh, I love that word, buffeted. Buffeted by an icy wind. I've never heard it said like that. Exhausted, he seeks shelter. Poor devil. Again tonight, his empty stomach rumbles in despair. No matter how long he spends hovering over schools, town squares, and orphanages, he catches only whiffs of indigestible brats. Where are edible children to be found, the monster laments. There must be a few left somewhere. See, you can't find any good children anywhere. But in this world of scoundrels, it's like searching for a needle in a haystack. One flake, then another, is starting to snow. The Yark reckons he will certainly starve to death before Christmas. As tears well up in his eyes, he suddenly lifts his head and cries out, "Santa Claus's list! Of course, that is the solution." This flash of genius makes him dance with joy. A feast. I just have to get my hands on that scrap of paper. That will give me the names and addresses of all the well-behaved children in the whole world. And what a fool I've been. Why didn't I think of it sooner? Streamers of saliva drip from his chops as he thinks of that list, more enticing than a menu from the finest restaurant. And without a moment's delay, the Yark soars high into the sky, heading straight for Santa's home. A few hours later, the monster sets down near the North Pole. On the edge of a forest, he glimpses 4 twinkling dots of light. It's Santa Claus's house. Knock, knock, knock. What's this? Who is visiting me so late? The old man wonders. When he opens the door of his cottage, Santa Claus comes face to face with a polar bear. Of course, it's none other than the Yark. The sly devil had rolled in the snow to deceive this white-whiskered friend of children everywhere. So, at this point in the story, I'm sort of wondering about my impression of the Yark. I wonder what kind of impression you have got of the Yark. Perhaps, something that you could do, an activity, is write a paragraph in your journals, in your writing books, about your impression of the Yark. And is it changing slowly? Right. Good evening, Santa Claus. I'm just a poor bear who's lost in the forest. May I come in to warm up? The good man welcomes his visitor with open arms. Come in, my friend. You're welcome in my home. The old man shuts the door and points his guest to a table decked with pastries smothered in whipped cream. You've come in the nick of time, the kind man smiles. We're about to serve dessert. Yum. My mouth waters at the thought. The Yark salivates as his eyes lights up, not on the pastries, but on the list of good boys and girls lying on a desk. Cautiously, he sidles over, but as he edges past the fireplace, the snow melts and the Yark's disguise vanishes into a puddle. Santa recognises the villain and his beard bristles like a big, angry cat. Get out of here, you foul beast, you child chomper. A monster has to eat, the Yark retorts, quick as a flash. Sure, but not good little boys and girls. Do you want to put me out of a job? In one bound, the monster lunges for the list before Santa can lift a finger. The old man fights back with the first weapon that comes to hand, a whipped cream dispenser. Back to Hades with you, the old man shouts, striking his visitor with powerful jets of scream. You may remember Hades when we did Greek, and read about Greek mythology. The gooey Geyser coats the monster, turning him back into a polar bear. Blinded, he stumbles into a shelf, which collapses and buries the precious list under an avalanche of paper. The list! I can't find the list, the Yark wails. Foiled, thwarted on the brink of victory, the greasy monster is forced to retreat into the black night without further ado. When he runs out of breath and silence falls around him, the Yark bursts into a sob and flops down on the snow. The list was my last best hope. This time I'm done for. Just then, he feels something tickling his bottom. Reaching around and groping at his sticky back, his fingers pinch onto a piece of paper. Surprised, he yanks at it. The paper comes away, tearing out a few hairs with it. Ugh. The Yark stifles a cry of pain, but when he discovers in his hand the much coveted list, his shout of victory echoes to the stars. So, I wonder what's going to happen next, okay? Maybe you can make your own predictions. What do you think will happen next in the story? How do you think the story might end? Okay, I'll be back tomorrow to read you chapter 5 of the Yark, and we'll find out what he does with the list. Make sure you have a wonderful day today. It was a bit sunny outside a little while ago. Go out for a walk. Your daily walk, so you make sure you're getting your exercise, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.